Okay, this is the stomach. And this is how it sits in the anatomical position. This is the superior portion. The inferior portion, this is the esophageal sphincter right there. Okay. They cut it off right at the sphincter, but so this area back from here, this is all sphincter area through here. And through there is going to be the sphincter. Okay, so the food bolus is going to come down the trachea, it's going to be stopped right down there. The sphincter is going to open, the bolus is going to drop into the stomach and it's going to close. Okay. Anybody had reflux here? Acid reflux? No one's ever had acid reflux. Very good. Acid reflux is when the acid from the stomach comes back up through that sphincter and back up into your mouth through your throat. Okay. As you get older, you'll have acid reflux. I almost guarantee it. But I don't know why you've had one. You're the youngster of the crowd.
Yeah.
This is the lesser curvature of the stomach, greater curvature of the stomach, the fundus of the stomach, or the cardiac region of the stomach, the esophageal section of the stomach, the pyloric section of the stomach. Okay. You take a look inside here, you can see the many folds that are in here. These are the rugae of the stomach. When a food bolus comes into that area, it gets mixed with the output from the epithelial cells, which is very acidic. And of course the walls of the stomach are 3 layers thick of muscle overlapping and going in multiple directions, and it's constantly going through what are called the peristaltic waves. Peristaltic waves just churn and churn and churn and churn. We've probably all been through that situation where your stomach's been upset and it just feels like it's churning and churning. That's exactly what it's doing. But when you're sick, you can feel it more because the nervous system is alert to it. Everything's working fine, no problem. Okay? But if you had dinner before you came here tonight, how many people had dinner before you came here tonight? Your stomach is working right now. Okay? It's churning, even though you can't feel it. It's turning that stuff into chyme. Chyme is created when it comes out of here. Okay, very acidic, and it's like a very heavy mud. Lots of fluid's been added to it. Most of the fluid's been acid. This is the pyloric sphincter right here. Okay, so the pyloric sphincter opens up. The chyme comes out into the duodenum. This technically is duodenum here. Okay, the first part of the small intestine. You have the duodenum, the jejunum, and then the ileum. About 21 feet of the small intestine. The first thing that happens to the chyme as it comes through here is it gets bile from the gallbladder and pancreatic enzymes that the bile helps to emulsify fats so that fats can be digested in the small intestine, and the pancreatic enzymes decrease the acidity of the chyme. In the stomach, it's got to be very acidic because it's got to break down the tissues as much as possible, and in the small intestine, it's got to be more basic to be absorbed properly. So from the first part of the duodenum there, it mixes it together and adds those elements in it so that in the jejunum and the ileum, most of your foodstuffs can be digested. So we got about 21 feet of that. Goes into the large intestine. This is part of the ileum right here. This is a very thin wall on the ileum. I expect this is probably a very old individual, elderly individual. But this is going to be coming across the see the model. He's got the model taking part there, but you've got the small intestine primarily deep to the musculature of the abdomen. They've got mesentery that helps hold everything in place, but coming across in the anterior portion, you can have the ileum, and the ileum ends the small intestine. And unfortunately, when they opened this up, they opened up right at the ileocecal valve, which is a small sphincter right there, and so they basically destroyed it. But this is also a large intestine over here, and this is also where the ileum came into it, and you can see the ileocecal valve right here. And so the ileum, this same ileum comes off this way. So small intestine, and this is into the large intestine. We've opened up the large intestine here. This is called the cecum. It lies in the lower right-hand quadrant. Okay, and just off the cecum is the appendix. Okay, this person had their appendix. How many of you got your appendixes? Everybody. Okay, that's what it looks like right there. Okay. The chyme comes in here, and once it's in the large intestine, all the nutrients have been pulled out here for digestive purposes, for energies, for all those sorts of things. And once it's in the large intestine, then it's got to begin to consolidate the waste material and also pull out the water. So you have the cecum right here, and then it starts anteriorly. You've got an ascending colon, and at the top of the ascending colon, this is the cecum here, ascending colon here, and it starts a flexure across here. This is the lymphatic flexure. Comes across with transverse colon. At the end of the transverse colon on the left side, it's got the splenic flexure, goes posteriorly with the descending colon. Goes down the left side at the lower left-hand quadrant. It begins to go posteriorly into the rectum and then finally the anus.
So the appendix has been removed on this one?
Appendix has been removed here, yeah. In fact, somebody was looking and they found what looks like maybe a scar. Probably. This is probably the scar right here. Exactly the appendix, but it's missing on that one. We've opened this one up too, though, so you can see what the inside of the large intestine looks like. Both of these are probably pretty elderly people, because the other thing you can't see here is, and you need to palpate this, this is a very, very thin wall as opposed to this one, which is much thicker. I would anticipate the walls to be thick, larger, though, in a healthy individual, younger and healthier individual. But you can't see the what are called the haustra. The haustra are sections of the large intestine where the muscle contracts and begins to compact the material, and both compact the material and pull out the water. And they're like bands all the way through the large intestine. And you can't see that on this. Have any questions on this? Okay, go ahead and take a few minutes.
That is a lot thinner.
Yeah, go ahead and take a few minutes with it and ask each other questions back and forth, see if you can stump each other.